Hiya, welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. I'm back playing Final Fantasy XVI. So sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. So I asked a question in the title of this live stream. Why do people assume that the Final Fantasy series is multi-platform? It never was. The first 6 Final Fantasy games were on Nintendo platforms, NES and SNES, and from 7 to from 7 to 12, it was on PlayStation. The only multi-platform mainline Final Fantasy games were Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy 13-2, whatever the hell it was called, and Final Fantasy 15. Every other mainline Final Fantasy games were exclusive to particular consoles. So it just interests me why people get up in arms when they find out that Final Fantasy, 7 Remake and the upcoming Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Final Fantasy 16 is on PlayStation. They get up in arms. Oh, why is it only on PlayStation? Do they not realise that Final Fantasy 7, 8 and 9 were only on PlayStation 1? And do they not realise that Final Fantasy 10, 10-2 and 12 were only on PlayStation? Again, it was only 13, the sequel to 13 and 15 that were only multi-platform. So this series is not multi-platform. So stop bitching that you can't play this game on Xbox. Stop bitching that you can't play this game on Switch. Not that it would work on Switch anyway. Hello, Power Slave Productions and Chad Middleton. You're both very welcome to the live stream. How are you both doing? How has your day been going? Anything interesting going on in your lives? Great to have you in the live chat, in the live stream. Hope that you enjoy my Final Fantasy 16 live stream. Liquid. Sorry, don't be sorry for that. One of the most iconic quotes in video game history. When do you think? What do you think of Zelda? You think of sorry. I thought you mistyped, but I just read it wrong. When you think of Zelda, you think of Todd Howard. No, I do not. Nonetheless, Chad, how are you keeping? I went to the gym today in this extreme heat. You legend. You absolute legend. Oh my days, you must have been like Link in Goron City. Jesus H. Christ. How did you manage that? You absolute legend, going to the gym in pretty much a heat wave. So yeah, let's get the live stream started officially from the point of view of gameplay. But I had to throw in that question in the title of the live stream. Like, why do people assume that Final Fantasy is multi-platform? It's never been really multi-platform, with the exception of 2 games in the mainline, 3 games in the mainline series. So yeah, just get into your heads, people. Final Fantasy is not really multi-platform. Now,
back again, Lord Rosfield. I'm touched that you should find me such good company.
It is not your company, but your counsel that I seek on this occasion.
lots of water and rest now and again. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Balance. You have the right strategy.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
The Iron Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it. The mother crystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago, in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Drastanus, home of Drake's breath, and plucked it from the Duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of Duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity.
Okay, so most of that went over my head, but it doesn't matter. It happens a lot in Final Fantasy games.
The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway to the continent, making Drastanus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the remaining Mother Crystals, or die trying.
My father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet against them.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge, Clive.
My only aim is to destroy the Mother Crystal. But thank you all the same. Not much else to do here.
No.
Let's see if Jill's ready.
Any side quests? So right now in the game, my overall objective is to destroy the Mother Crystals. So, you know, Clive and his allies can set themselves free and live the life they want to live, kind of a thing. I'm retired now as the Green Hill Gaming ambassador. Never! I will never allow you to retire, Mr. Middleton. You will work for me for eternity as the ambassador of Green Hill Gaming. You will continue to deliver breaking video game news. You will never be able to leave, Mr. Middleton. Never.
It will be over soon.
You ready?
I think so.
Jill, when you told me you had to come to terms with your past, you weren't talking about destroying Drake's breath, were you?
No. I spoke of Imran, the leader of the Crystalline Orthodox. The man who made me do all those unspeakable things. I'm going to kill him. It's what I need to do to put the past behind me. What I need to move forward. And I know that I can do it. If you're there beside me.
Always.
And I'll be beside you, too. We'll bring down the Mother Crystal together. All while Sid looks on.
We'll make him proud.
Yes. Let's go. Let's go. The boiling sea.
Useful trick. Freezing and thawing the spray to make mist. How did you learn to use your powers like this?
The Masters made me do it. When the Crusaders took to the seas, to keep the fleet's movements from prying eyes. I'm fine.
No, you're not.
This may be the only chance I get to go back. My only chance to put things right. I have to do this. Whatever the cost.
All right.
Land ahead.
There she is. The Iron Kingdom's Mother Crystal.
Drake's breath. Strong currents, sharp rocks, and ether floods. Let's not forget them. This island is a natural fortress.
But safety breeds complacency. Allowing a single rowing boat to slip in unseen. The sanctuary is inside the mountain. If we follow the old trail, we should be able to enter by the back gate.
All right. Let's go.
Fire and ice.
I always imagined when I came here it would be to reclaim it.
It used to belong to Rosaria, didn't it?
That looks beautiful.
Once, though it's been in the Ironblood's clutches for far too long.
As was I. For 13 years, this rock was my home. I know its secrets only too well. This path was abandoned after an ether flood. They don't guard it anymore.
The perfect little shortcut.
Never as bad as this before. Their only way past them is through them.
Did I mention I love the combat in this game? And thank you, chat.
Was that an earthquake?
They happen all the time. That wasn't even a bad one. It's nothing to worry about. Out of our way.
Oh my god, what the hell? Oh yeah, it's one of those trolls. I'm used to dealing with trolls. Let's go. Oh my days, I love this game so much. And I'm saying that like at almost midnight, and I'm quite tired, and the heat has been draining me all day. So, but believe me, I love this game. I'm going to give Tears of the Kingdom another go this weekend. Another go. I liked the intro, didn't like the tutorial again, like the Great Plateau. Once you finish what you call the tutorial, once you finish the opening area of the game, and you dive from the clouds to Hyrule, the game begins. At least you're not playing Starfield and you have to be like 90 plus hours into the game before it actually picks up. Believe me, those early moments in Tears of the Kingdom, like Breath of the Wild, are pivotal because you get the grips with the game's core mechanics. So when you leave the Sky Island and you land in Hyrule, you know what the game is all about, and then you can get stuck in and do what you want. Don't worry too much about that. Give it another go. My opinion is, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but my advice is to give it another go. And believe me, once you leave the Sky Island, you'll feel a lot more freedom in the game. But yeah, it's not like Starfield where you have to be putting in like, 50, 60, 70 hours into the game before you actually before something actually happens. It was the same too with Death Stranding as well. But I mean, I can't force you into how you feel about something. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom might be a critically acclaimed game, but it doesn't mean that everyone is going to like it. It doesn't mean that everyone is going to be comfortable with that game, But I hope for your own sake, Chad, that you can enjoy your experience with Tears of the Kingdom, and hopefully my advice will help. What was that? Area blast. That's fine. While I'm on the menu now, actually, I'm going to have a quick look at some of... So, ignition. I kind of tend to stick to my abilities. I don't really tend to kind of mix them up a little bit, but yeah. Okay. My abilities. I'm going to upgrade. Damn it. I will give it another go. I just need to find the free time. That's obviously a big challenge, finding free time to get stuck into a game. So once you find that free time, man, give it another go. I think I had a similar issue when I was playing Monster Hunter Rise. I was playing the demo, and I was in a bit of a rush, and I was all over the place, and I couldn't give that game the time that I needed. But once I had more time and I got stuck into the main game, I was loving it. So I got to go back and play that game, actually. What is this? Something is going to rise. And it ain't Monster Hunter. See what I did there?
Oh, look at this.
You recommend No Man's Sky? Personally, no. Okay, just let me gather my thoughts and explain why. Okay, the mode that I played was, I think it was story mode. It was the recommended mode. I found there was too much going on. There was too much you had to manage. You had to manage the fuel for your ship. You had to manage oxygen levels. You had to manage so much going on. And I don't know, I just felt like the story was kind of like lacking in certain points. Personally, even in VR, and it was an amazing experience, by the way, playing it in VR, I found after a while I got a bit bored of just doing the same kind of like thing, you know. So, okay, look, long story short, personally, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, do you like games where you're managing lots of different things at the same time? So like, one of the big things about No Man's Sky is it's a survival game, resource game. So if you like those type of games, then you may like No Man's Sky. But if you like your games just to be kind of like linear and have a kind of like a narrative kind of mechanic, you mightn't like No Man's Sky because there's just so much going on that you have to keep track of all the time. And that can get in the way, in my opinion, of your overall enjoyment of the game. So personally, I wouldn't recommend it. Nothing like Animal Crossing. Can I just tell you just to clarify, holy shit, just to clarify, No Man's Sky is the opposite to Animal Crossing in every way. In Animal Crossing, you can play that game and you can relax. You can do whatever the hell you want. You can take your time doing it. Fishing, looking for fossils, collecting bugs, just talking to residents, expanding your island, whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. But No Man's Sky is like, okay, you want to leave your ship? No, it's on fire. I don't know why it's on fire, but it's on fire. Figure out what to do. Oh, you want to leave? Well, you don't have enough fuel. What's that? You want to build fuel? Well, figure out how to get fuel. Oh, you have to get this, you have to get that. You have to go over there to get that. Once you get that, you got to do this. Once you do this, you got to do that. Then you got to combine this with that, and then you got to multiply this by that, and then you got to go into this furnace and make this to do that, and then that. Then you leave your ship. Oh, well, you don't have enough, whatever to do a what I don't even know what it's called, just to go faster, basically. Then you need this. Oh, this is part of the story. So now you've got to get this certain thing to build this certain thing in order to progress the story. So now you've got to go all the way over there to get this. Oh, I don't know, I forget how to go over there. So now I'm going to have to figure out how to go back over there. It is basically, it just fucks with my mind anyway. I don't know whether you like those kind of games or not, Chad, but for me, it's just head-wrecking. But I mentioned earlier, there's different modes in No Man's Sky. I didn't try out the other modes, but I presume there's probably a more of a laid-back mode as well, but the mode that I played anyway, I just found it very stressful. But it's nothing like Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is just a very relaxing, casual experience. It's the opposite to No Man's Sky in that regards.
Place.
Hope that helps.
Mess.
Wait.
I hope my explanation was clear and helpful. I know I kind of went off on one there with No Man's Sky, but long story short, with No Man's Sky, you have to manage a lot of things, keep track of a lot of things, resource a lot of things. You're desperately trying to survive on these, hostile planets. And it can get quite stressful and get quite complicated, and it can get in the way of your enjoyment of the game. Anyway, that's my personal take on it. But yeah, you're more than welcome, and I hope that it helps. It's a personal preference, really. I knew it was something with rise.
burned.
Nothing a shelter for his area can't handle.
Exactly.
Just like old times. Be sure to keep clear of its paw.
Believe me, I mean to. That's foul.
Don't breathe it in.
I still can't believe they kept up. At least things have roots.
Use way too many potions there. I listened to Hulksters in Heaven today. What in the name of holy Christ is that? Some kind of a podcast from Hulk Hogan, I'm guessing?
Press on.
Yes.
Oh no, no potions. Or high potions. No, just a song. Okay, that's random. Well, what are your thoughts?
We're inside the volcano.
Where's my map?
You get used to the heat. Though I don't remember it being quite this hot.
That's what she said. Where's the map? I don't have any local map. Because I want to fast travel, but like... I mean, technically I can, but... I would be so far away if I do that. Stage currently in progress. Oh, fuck. Oh, well, I'm going to go old school then. Even though he knows... Oh, high potion, perfect. He's better be regular potions. Yeah.
It was. And they're getting bigger. Something's wrong.
In the Joe Rogan's podcast, he was telling a bunch of lies. Like he's senile. In '92, he claimed he was with Michael Jackson and Mr. T at the WWF event. Yeah, he's definitely senile. See, that's what happens when you try to hog the spotlight so long and, you know, fucking just doesn't know when to retire officially, properly. It just, yeah. That's what happens. You go see now. I'm still a main eventer, god damn it. This one kid died in an hour and they wrote the song for him. The fuck? Okay. I shouldn't be laughing, but like I don't even know what the hell, I don't know what's going on. Sorry. I won't be able to watch that now because I'm in the middle of sorry, no, Chad. I'm getting stuck into Final Fantasy 16. He also said he's the reason Simon Cowell is in America. Okay, he's definitely gone senile. I will look up that whole situation tomorrow. Thanks, Chad.
Is there no other way across?
Jesus. Although I feel like Bowser is going to appear from the lava. Try Bowser. It's the song. Thanks, Chad. I'll look it up tomorrow. I mean, the last thing I want to hear right now is Hulk Hogan singing.
This is going to be close. Come on!
Let's not do that again.
No. Let's not.
What you should watch, actually, Chad, I wish I could actually send you this link, actually, but I'm too lazy to look it up. Ed Boon and some guy eating hot chili. It is the most random interview ever, because this guy is interviewing Ed Boon about like Mortal Kombat related stuff while eating hot spices. It's so funny.
They don't look too tough.
Perhaps not alone, but in numbers like these.
So most casual Final Fantasy fans will say that the gameplay is generic and you just press all the buttons and there's no strategy to it. Well, that's bullshit. Because I was fighting that fire type enemy, so I use wind, and wind is very effective against fire. And obviously, like, you know, if I'm facing multiple enemies, you use like the lightning special moves. It's just, I mean, you mightn't be able to understand it like when you're watching it. Like, it might look so like, it might look basic when you're watching it, but there's a lot of strategy going on in my head here, you know, when I'm switching between different icons.
Well, we aren't going this way.
Let's look for another path. Drake's breath.
We're nearly at the oratory.
What the hell is that?
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, whatever it is, I don't think it's friendly. Come on! I needed that.
Probably one of the toughest regular enemies in the game that I fought so far. Holy shit. This is the Star Wars planet. Luke, I am your father. Or however it goes. I'd love to watch the director's cut where Darth Vader says, Luke, you are adopted.
What the?
Oh yes.
One of the demons. But they never leave the lava.
If I didn't know better, I think this volcano was about to erupt.
Why attack us then? They're peaceful creatures.
Then this one must be the exception.
Let's try. Come on. good, I'll wager.
Oof. I love this game so much. This is exactly what I wanted. No, non-stop combat. Yes. Roblox coming to PlayStation officially. People can now rejoice. It's finally happening. Roblox is coming to PlayStation. I feel like... Oh, what was that guy's name again? What's the guy's name? Oh God, I completely forgot the guy's name. Just constantly ask me to play Roblox. He's going to come back. So long, Bowser.
Are you hurt?
Just hot.
Ooh. Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Quite a commotion our friend made. Let's hope the guards didn't hear it.
The gate to the inner chambers is just up there. Then we make for the sanctuary. I need to finish this. Before the heat finishes me.
Here, here.
Here. Oh, look at the blood on the sword. I like that effect. Detail.
We'll enter the Comric by the Handmaiden's living quarters. It was always a hive of activity.
Sounds like we'll have a hard time staying out of sight.
We won't have to. There's someone there I should very much like to see.
You forgot to accept the guy. Who? Never heard of him. Has he got a sore eye?
Lady Marley. It's me.
By the mother. Jill, it can't be.
It is, my lady.
We cannot talk here. Come with me. I'm so glad you're safe.
And I you.
Why ever would you risk coming back? Are you a fool, girl? Or have you grown tired of your freedom already?
Forgive me, my lady. But I had to come back. There are things I left undone. Tell me, where is the Patriarch?
At this hour, he'll be in the Comric, giving thanks.
You mean... Oh, fiend! Clive, we have to get to the Sanctuary. Now. Lady Marley, you must flee this place, gather your things, and go.
Now listen here, Jill.
We have company.
The audio is fantastic. I can hear them like running behind me.
This way. Follow this passage. It leads straight to the Comric. Go on, stop dawdling.
Thank you. You were always so kind to me. My light in the darkness. Take care, my lady, please. You deserve better than this. A long and happy life, promise me.
I'll live if you promise to do the same.
Come on, Clive. We're nearly at the Comric.
All right. Here's our welcoming party.
I've had enough of their hospitality.
Stay down!
Hiya, strange music. Hello, boy. Okay. Hello, strange music. Goodbye, strange music. Roblox coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Yeah, that's what Chad said. Welcome to the live chat and Less Strange Music. How are you doing? Welcome to my Final Fantasy 16 live stream. Okay.
How many of them are there?
Too many.
I actually love this game too much. Too much. Honestly. People can now call each other, but I don't know when it's coming out. Wait, what? Roblox is an official online dating app. Wait a second, I've missed a few comments there. Do you think it will have the option to set the graphics? Possibly. So, I presume James Charles is the creator of the official online dating app in Roblox. Roblox is alright, but I don't play it a lot now. Cool. cool.
Clive, there's something I need you to know. I saw the Patriarch do things no one should have to see. And so I swore that he would die by my hand.
I understand. I faced my demons, and you must face yours.
Yep. God knows I've faced my share of demons, and I wouldn't mind grabbing one and slitting their throat. But anyway. Roblox is a bunch of random games like Little Big Planet. So I know about Roblox. It sounds like a really fun game. Johnny, if I wanted to play Final Fantasy, how would it be in order? Okay, so pretty much every Final Fantasy game in the mainline series is its own game. It's a standalone game with an original story. The only games in the series that have sequels are X2, so direct sequel to Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy 13 Versus is a direct sequel to Final Fantasy 13. Other than that, every mainline Final Fantasy game has an original story. So Final Fantasy 15 is not connected to any other game in the series. So if you want to get stuck into Final Fantasy, just pick a game in the series that tickles your fancy. Personally, I'd recommend 10. Is it like Assassin's Creed? Not really. Not really. Each game has, yes. With the exception of Final Fantasy X2 and Final Fantasy 13 Versus, every mainline Final Fantasy game has its own story.
We're nearly there. Just one last push.
I got dreaded soul.
Okay, a trophy made me broken. Defeat 20 enemies while pinned, including battles in the Hall of Victims. Spider-Man controller. Do you like the Spider-Man controller? Marvel's Spider-Man 2 limited edition PS5 DualSense wireless controller. Yeah, so lucky, so happy, so blessed that I was able to get that controller and hold that amazing, glorious controller in my hand. It is so cool. I genuinely feel so bad for people who cannot get their hands on this controller. Hopefully they'll be able to get this controller soon. But yeah, what a controller it is. I recommend 4, 6, 7, 9, 10 to start. Interesting. Try shut games. Venom was taking over your controller. Yes. Yes, he has. Johnny, do you like Massacre 2022? I don't even know what the hell that is. The guy with 8,723 platinums. It's not even possible. I don't even think there actually is 8,723 games. I mean, if there is, cool. And good for them, I guess. Yeah, my first instinct was it's impossible, but I looked for his user and it was real. Let me tell you something, okay, when it comes to platinums, when it comes to anything really, you can fake anything. If your gut instinct is, this is fake, or this isn't true, or this isn't accurate, chances are you're right. Anyway, good for them. Regardless, good for them.
Shiva's dominant. Come to beg forgiveness for your failure.
Should you try Resident Evil 1? Sure. It's a great game. You'd enjoy it.
For years, I followed your orders. Fought your wars. All to protect the children you took. Just as you took me. And what did you do in return? You put them in chains and you slit their throats!
Their souls were sullied with the stain of ether. I merely cleansed them of their corruption. A penance paid, just as the Holy Mother wills it! Repent, abomination! For a monster like you to set foot in the Holy Cymric is in itself a crime deserving of death.
You're right. I am a monster. And my soul is stained black. Though not by ether. But by the evil of men like you, who made me close my heart and drown in darkness when I should have raged against it. This is my penance. I will be your monster no more. Nor will I suffer you to create another.
Does the beast bare its teeth at its master? Come then, Dominant. Rage, be as you have ever been. A monster!
And what are you, Imran? I was forced to kill. You do it by choice. But never.
Yeah, 'cause he does look like an old lady.
Again. I bowed to you once. Now it is you who shall bow to me.
Kill them.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Now.
Right.
Looks hot. Oh no, she expired. God, and the PS5 is going to explode. Hopefully not.
Why can't I do it? Please, just once.
She won't be able to hold that alphabet forever. We better make this quick. Damn it.
Go.
All right. I won't take long.
Trophy boy. And her token.
Damn, that's tough. Hello, Wacky Wacko, and hello, Mike. You're both very welcome to the live stream where I am playing Final Fantasy 16. That was a tough battle. How are you both doing? 16 is on the way to PC. It doesn't make much sense as to why it won't be on Xbox unless they have some deal with Sony. How's this game anyways better than the last one? Oh god, I actually am enjoying this a lot more than 15. It feels more of a Final Fantasy game than 16, to be honest. Which one are you looking forward to? You have it on PlayStation, do you? Or do you have it on PC? Or you're looking forward to getting it on PC, is it? Oh, this is tough, and I like a tough battle in Final Fantasy. that was tough. Very rewarding. Okay, so now we can have a look at the comments properly. Sorry if there was a bit of a delay or I wasn't taking too much notice of your comments. So yeah, first of all, Wacky Wacko and Mike, you're both very welcome to Green Hill Gaming, to my live stream of Final Fantasy 16. Hope you're both doing very well. I hope that you enjoy the live stream. So yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is on the way to PC. As far as it not making sense as to why it won't be on Xbox, so that's a good point. That's a good point, and it ties in with the question that I'm asking in the title of this live stream, is why people assume that Final Fantasy is a multi-platform series. Because when you look at the history of the mainline Final Fantasy series, the first 6 Final Fantasy games were exclusive to Nintendo hardware, and from 7 up to 12, it was exclusive to PlayStation consoles. So the only multi-platform Final Fantasy games were the 13 games and 15. That's 2. So only if you thought, well, 3 if you include a sequel to 13. So 3 games have only been multi-platform. Now I know those games eventually, I know the Final Fantasy games eventually made their way to other platforms. So when they launched, originally they were either exclusive to Nintendo hardware or PlayStation the majority of the time. But I do hear what you're saying, nonetheless. But they do have a deal. Square Enix have a deal with PlayStation to keep Final Fantasy 15 exclusive to the PlayStation for the time being. The same with the 7 remake and the Rebirth as well. As far as how the game is much better, it's much better than 15. Much better. Much better. I couldn't stress that. Glad you're doing well, man. I'm not doing too bad, no, man. Thank you for asking, man. Good to hear from you. Yeah, hoping it's coming on PC when it goes on sale at some stage. Games are so expensive now. Oh, tell me about it. Games are getting crazy expensive. It's hard to keep up. Sure, the only console I have now is Switch. Not a bad choice. Good job, man. It looked very stressful. That's why I couldn't pay attention too much to the comment. Very, very stressful, man. But good to hear from you, man. Good to have you in the live stream. I'd say once I destroy the crystal here now, I'm probably going to wrap up and get some sleep. If I can. It's so warm, man, isn't it? Oh, man. I'm almost as hot as him. In more ways than one.
Jill!
I'm going to finish this climb.
Oh, don't tell me she dies. Please.
Here. Use this.
You know what I'm really liking about the story, Mike, is how the crystals play a part in 16. The crystals have always played a significant role in the Final Fantasy series, but I believe up until 16, the crystals represented good, they represented light, they were opposing the darkness, they were opposing the evil. You were basically relying on their power, you were bringing back their power to save the world, whereas in 16, they represent evil, they represent darkness, they represent everything that's wrong with the world in 16. So it's quite an interesting reversal of roles, really. I like that. Well, I presume as the game goes on, it's not going to be as straightforward as that. It's going to be a bit more complex. maybe destroying the crystals is something that you shouldn't have done. And Clive was like, I fucked up. You know, the special effects in Final Fantasy has always been amazing. But on PS5, they just get taken to the next level.
Are you watching?
Oh, listen to this, Mike. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. There's this particular piece of music in Final Fantasy 16 that is kind of a remix of like one of the main music. I can't remember the exact name, but one of the key pieces of music in Final Fantasy 7. Listen to this. You'll hear it. It's a bit subtle, but you will recognize it.
Sid. You're one step closer to freedom.
It actually gives me goosebumps.
The crystal. What did you do to it?
I broke it. Sue me.
Oh. We destroyed it.
What? Monster! Monster! Do you have any idea what you have done?
I do, Father. I have killed the monster and become an outlaw. May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
So if you were playing the very first Final Fantasy game, and then you started play, and then you saw this scene, you would be like, "What the hell is going on here?" Because in Final Fantasy 1, like as she just said, the blessings of the crystals be with you. Like the crystals are kind of like powering, like the warriors of light in Final Fantasy 1. They are the life force of the world in Final Fantasy 1. You know, they represent life. And you were drawing from their power, and that power is used to defeat the evil in Final Fantasy 1. So it's just a complete like reversal of roles here. Really, really interesting.
It's over.
Just 2 crystals down.
It is.
And Shiva exacted her price.
She did.
Again, the burden fell to you.
And I bore it willingly. This was a sin for which I had to atone. Now I can continue at your side with my head held high.
Oh, please. I want to go to sleep.
Clive, look.
It's just like the one at Phoenix Gate. Damn it. We need to leave.
Agreed.
It's the hooded man. I thought at first that was actually Joshua. It's like Titanic. Beautiful. That was the Final Fantasy prelude. Yeah, the prelude theme. Listen, I thought that was though the prelude theme is in it, but I'm pretty sure the music they played though, that was the prelude theme that was associated mostly with Final Fantasy VII. Or maybe you're right. I'm actually kind of confused now, to be honest.
promise, and now you keep yours.
Trophy, legacy, turn the corner. Let's give me the description of the trophy. Turn the corner. I've turned the corner. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Anyways, it's like the main team in the first few games. Yeah, it probably is the prelude. I'm probably getting mixed up. I'd say 10. It would have to be 10. I think the story is straightforward enough to fully understand, and not only that, I just really love the story of 10. The themes of 10 are just so, like, it sticks to me all these years later. Just everything about that game, I love it. What about yourself? Meanwhile, there's Joshua.
This way, Your Grace.
You're bleeding. I have a tonic which will...
I thank you for your kindness, truly. But I assure you, I will survive. Please, save your medicines for those who need them most.
Oh, well, if you're sure...
For a moment there, I felt my brother's presence.
You did?
I fear he is in Ultima's thoughts again. But why now, after 5 years of silence?
And what it's like as well is, apart from the crystals playing a significant role in this game, and not just playing a significant role, but playing a complete, like, reversal of roles, the icons, which are basically summons, in certain Final Fantasy games they have different names. In 10, my favourite Final Fantasy game, they were called Aeons. Some games are literally called summons. In fact, the majority of the time I think they're called summons. But they play such a major role in this game. Like, Clive is literally Ifrit. Jill is literally Sheva. Joshua is literally Phoenix. And it looks like the enemy of the game is going to be Ultima. So that's just really, like, I mean, people can bitch online about, like, how this isn't a Final Fantasy game. Look, I used to be one of those people. With, like, 13 onwards. I did. I used to be one of those people. I've gotten to grips now with the modern combat system, and I think the 16 just has a really fun combat system. And I'm okay with it not being a traditional turn-based, Final Fantasy game when it comes to the combat. I'm okay with that. But, like, people can go online and say, oh, this isn't a Final Fantasy game. But the fact is, like, it is a Final Fantasy game in every way. 8 was the first one I played, so I usually go with that. 8 is a really good Final Fantasy game. 10 is definitely better though. That's one of my favourites as well. Played it like 20 times. Same here, man. I played that game so many times. It's crazy. 7 was my first game. I think that game gets overrated. I mean, it's a good game, but I just think, like, it's almost like casual Final Fantasy fans just, like, gravitate to that game. It's like, this is the best Final Fantasy game. It's a good Final Fantasy game. I think it's what really got the Western world into Final Fantasy, because it was really like when Final Fantasy 7 came to PlayStation 1, that's really when people started to take notice of Final Fantasy for the first time, 13 is the worst one though, so I wouldn't blame you for saying that. Yeah, that's kind of, I suppose I looked at 13, saw what it was, and I was like, oh my god, this is the state of Final Fantasy now. So that's why I was kind of like, But 15 I enjoyed it for what it was, but I didn't feel like a Final Fantasy game overall. But 16, I think, is just a return to form. Just because it doesn't have the turn-based combat doesn't mean that it's not Final Fantasy. I know that there's certain viewers listening to this right now and saying, "Oh, Johnny, you're a fucking hypocrite because, you say that Resident Evil isn't Resident Evil because it doesn't have A, B, and C." But like turn-based combat is just a part of Final Fantasy. It's just a part of the Final Fantasy experience. Final Fantasy is known for its amazing story. It's known for mechanics like summons. It's known for its special effects. It's known for its graphics. It's known for its soundtrack. Those are the things that really stand out in people's mind when it comes to Final Fantasy. When it comes to Resident Evil, what makes Resident Evil is fixed camera angles. Fixed camera angles, tank controls, like a true like resource kind of management, item management, classic like ink ribbon typewriter save system, no checkpoints, no enemies spawning ammo, no suplexing enemies like Brock fucking Lesnar, no kicking open doors, no punching boulders. That's what makes Resident Evil. So when you take away all those things, when you take away the fixed camera angles, when you take away the turn-based, when you take away the fixed camera angles, you take away the tank controls, and you take away the traditional save system, you take away the true resource management and survival horror as well. When you take away the true essence of survival horror, you don't get a Resident Evil game. So I stand by everything I said about Resident Evil. But Final Fantasy, the turn-based combat was just one part of the experience. It's still combat, it's just different. But anyway, that's that. Right.
I cannot keep him sealed away much longer.
Your Grace.
No, do not dirty your hands. Look at them all. Like a river flowing to the sea.
Or moths to a flame, perhaps. The crystalline dominion their light in the darkness. More and more lose their homes to the blight and set out in search of sanctuary, while others lose their fortunes to the Dalmekian levies and leave to find new livelihoods. What is it that you seek in the Dominion, Your Grace?
Oh, Dion Lesage.
You mean the Crown Prince of Sanbreque?
He has many titles. Dion the Bold, Prince of Dragoons, Odin's Nemesis, or simply Bahamut.
Bahamut?
I met him once, when we were children. He was a chivalrous soul even then, and has served his empire in...
I fully agree with you with the Resident Evil. Oh, it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing to have a fellow millennium as opposed to a Gen Z agreeing with me on my Resident Evil views and opinions. That is so refreshing. Oh, thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much. I much prefer the survival horror stuff from the original games and the RE2 remake / RE7. I dislike the over-the-top action stuff. It's fun for what it is. That's exactly what it is. I mean, 4 onwards, they're fun for what they are. Kicking open doors is fun. Suplexing enemies is fun. All of that is fun. So 4, 5, 6 can kiss my ass, to be honest with you. They're all fun. 7 is a fun kind of like, experience. It's more horror than 4, 5, and 6. Same at Village. I enjoyed all those games for what they are. But as far as I'm concerned, the only Resident Evil games are Resident Evil 1 up to Code Veronica and 0. Obviously, Resident Evil 1 remake as well. Maybe other game after that, just action horror games with the title Resident Evil slapped onto it. But it's not Resident Evil. It's just not Resident Evil. It's fun, but it's not Resident Evil. But as I said, it's so refreshing to have a fellow millennium, you know, somebody who was actually on this planet long enough to understand what Resident Evil is, instead some Gen Z fucker who has Chris Redfield doing the floss in Fortnite and try to preach to me what Resident Evil is. So that's very refreshing to have you in the live chat, Mike.
Fatigably ever since.
And you are confident that he will listen to what you have to say?
Our world lurches ever closer to the abyss, and a hidden hand ushers us onward. Ultima's influence extends to every nation, Sanbreque included. If His Highness is the man I believe him to be, and I pray that he is, this truth will not have escaped his notice. As the mother crystals fall, the eternal flame wavers, and the azure sky begins to bruise. How lucky we were to be blessed by the crystals, and yet how spoiled. Like canaries in a gilded cage, growing fat on seed. But now, the bars are closing in, and we must take flight. Painful though it be to leave our home behind, it is what we must do to be free. Which is it that men cannot live without? A blessing that leads to damnation, or a freedom that leads to deprivation? I do not yet know the answer to that question.
He's a bit like Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles.
Your Grace, let us find a place to rest a while. We can return by the Dhalmekian trail once you have recovered your strength. I realize your duty is pressing, but if your health should fail...
I know. Thank you, Yoto.
Meanwhile,
The
Ministry of
attempt
Law.
to breach the Empire's defenses and gain the Isles of Ark has failed yet again.
Only because your fleet has proved as impotent as a eunuch on laying night. Would you rather we simply fell back to the capital?
Enough, both of you. All here agree that the Empire cannot be allowed to maintain its illegitimate claim on the Dominion. However, our casualties mount with each passing day.
There is a literal sea twixt you and your prize. The armies of Sanbreque need but sit back and watch as you harmlessly lap against their walls. They are dug in like ticks, and seek to draw out this siege, knowing the capital's stores are nigh bottomless. And what of our wise rulers? Goaded into war without any thought as to what chaos it might reap. Republican soldiers starve, while waiting for orders from Randalar.
If you would but take the field, their bellies would be full by nightfall.
If I take the field, so too will Bahamut, and our duel will shake the island to its foundations. Instead of liberating the Dominion, you would doom it to destruction. Unless that is what you desire.
If our learned advisor has a solution to propose, we should be glad to consider it.
Is that the Emperor's?
What is the meaning of this, Lord Kupka?
What it means is that I am disinclined to advise you any longer. Ah, the looks on their faces when you walked through those doors. A perfect picture of stupefaction. They could not believe their eyes. Though I confess, I had my own doubts whether or not you would accept my invitation. Such shocking news.
Shocking.
Sid isn't a son of a whore. He's the son of an empress. Your own dear Clive.
Absurd. Who fed you these lies? I have never spent a moment among criminals, save at the gallows. I came here with my son, not to entertain your baseless accusations, but to put an end to the senseless hostilities between our nations.
Very well. You need only agree to the terms I set out. Sid took the life of someone dear to me, a woman by the name of Benedicta. I swore to take his in turn. This would not be disagreeable to you, I take it. You would finally be rid of the stain on your noble name. In return, I will leave Sanbreque in your capable hands. Your Imperial Majesty.
And all for the love of a common whore. Dominant or no, one cannot hide one's breeding. And beasts will ever belong with beasts. There are greater things in store for you, my darling Olivier. Soon enough, you shall be the crown prince of Sanbreque. And when your father goes to meet Great Griga, you shall be emperor of all you survey. The old order shall come tumbling down, and you will rebuild the world in your glorious image. Soon.
Interesting. So Clive has a brother. And so does Joshua.
She's been in there for hours. Something must be wrong.
Well, that can wait, because I need to get some sleep. There was a lot of cutscenes. That was a fun session of Final Fantasy 16. Lots of combat. It's exactly what I wanted. Let's have a look at the notices first. No items are now available. And no crafting recipe is available. That's good. I'll have a look at that another time. Alright, I need to go to sleep because I'm absolutely exhausted. Okay, that's going to do it for the live stream. Thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.